Hey guys, it's Jordan and Anna here. We're Guidama's ambassadors, and we're here to take you through the best leg workout for Jitsu athletes. Let's get started with the warm-up. Make sure you warm up and don't go into your workout cold. A good warm-up ensures proper blood flow to your muscles, your tendons, and your ligaments, which is going to help you get more out of your workout, mitigate your risk of injury, and it helps you recover better post-workout. The warm-up that you see me and Anna doing here is some simple bodyweight drills using yoga down dog variations and some hip opener series. Then what you see us doing is using our glute bands to activate and stabilize those essential glute muscles. And those propel and stabilize the hip and help us recruit the right muscles for the exercises ahead. The same leg that's working you have here. All right, so now what I want you to feel is really try to stay even pressure through your whole foot. Let that leg hang off. Now, as you cap, you're gonna get down into your calf stretch. Yeah, calf stretch, front, and then come up on the toe and hold. Yes, and then back down nice and slow. Very important you get that calf stretch. Good. Let's just do like 10 reps or maybe actually 5. Good. Yes. And so what she's doing good here is she's doing full range of motion. If you notice, she doesn't just stop right here. She lets that stretch happen as much as she can. Yeah, come up. Good. And this ensures you're grounded on the floor. Jiu-jitsu is a barefoot sport. So it's very important you get very connected to your calf and foot and how it's connecting to the floor. So that's all of your power moving forward. Good. Go ahead and switch sides. Yeah. So what you want to focus on is be mindful of if you happen to be putting the weight on the outside of your foot or if you're putting too much weight on the inside of your foot. So what Anna's doing here, yeah, look, she gets that stretch and she's pushing through all of these toes, not just the big toe or just the end. Yeah, she gets that and she comes up, holds. Yeah. Oh yeah, this makes you very dangerous on the feet. This makes your guard passing dangerous. Also, this helps with your leg lock defense. Yeah, good. One more. Excellent. So with this one, yeah, you know what you're doing. So it's, yep, hold and then control. Don't let it slip. Yeah. And then just go 10 reps. This is very, very important, guys, for your leg lock defense, as you know. So what she's doing is called Ankle Dorsi-Flexion. This is your anterior tibialis. She's getting that very strong. So she's strengthening this whole complex. Okay. And again, I prefer barefoot if you can. We're going to go 10 reps. Now, if you pick the weight too heavy, if you're doing this for the first time, you might notice a lot of wobble. That is normal. If a lot of wobbling is happening, that's just more of a stability problem. You might need to go lighter on your weight. So again, this isn't anything you should expect to be heavy on or max out on. It's just a strengthening protocol for this. Let's switch sides. Yeah. If your gym allows barefoot, it's going to be best. But if not, then, do it with shoes on. Not a big deal. You see, interesting thing with Anna here, she's a little bit more unstable on this side. You notice that? Yeah. So doesn't mean, it's just an awareness thing. We don't need to change anything. It's just more of an awareness, and we'll just keep working on that. Yes. Let's do one more. Point and flex and hold and partner. Okay, rest. This next exercise is called the Nordic. I like to do it in the beginning of the workout to get the hamstrings and the posterior chain lit up, so that when we actually go do our squats, all of that muscle group is activated. So I actually don't prefer to put squatting in the beginning, just a preference. So the Nordic hamstring curl is notoriously difficult, and not every gym actually has this machine, unfortunately, and it's such a good machine. If you don't have access to this right now, I'll go ahead and tell you, do a different hamstring exercise, like a seated hamstring curl is a good option. Also, RDLs are a good option, single leg or double leg. Now, I love RDLs. However, I prefer the Nordic over the RDL in general, and here's why. You have 3 hamstring muscles, and one of them in particular crosses the knee joint. In order to really train that hamstring muscle, you want to do something that's going to flex the knee, meaning the knee bends, and the Nordic is great for that, and so is the seated hamstring curl. And again, I am not knocking the RDL. The thing about the RDL, or Romanian deadlift, is I don't bend the knees and I hinge, and I don't get that other hamstring muscle that crosses the knee joint as effectively as I can with the Nordic. Now, there's 2 types of strength. There is what's called relative strength, and then there's absolute strength. So the Nordic is what's called relative strength. Basically, what relative strength means is how well are you able to move your body through space. So the Nordic is an example of a relative strength movement. So is the chin up. So is the push up. Kind of like calisthenics, essentially. Absolute strength is not dependent on my body weight. Absolute strength is just how much weight I can move. For example, something that's relative strength would be a deadlift or a squat. That's your relative strength. So for a jiu-jitsu athlete, you want to make sure you're doing both in your training program. Things that are absolute strength and then things that are relative strength. And now on this Nordic here, Anna's already set up. And I will say every gym has a different Nordic machine. I wish I could give you instructions on how to set it up. You got to play around with it for your height and everything. But we've already got set up and we're ready to go. We're going to keep the reps here low. We're probably just going to do about 5 reps. And Anna's locked in. Now she's going to bring her knees off of this pad right here. Now the key is don't start yet. Now key is she's basically holding a plank. Okay, go ahead and bend forward like I had you. We don't want this to happen. Okay, this will be the biggest mistake everybody makes in a Nordic is the bending of the hips. So she wants to keep that locked in. Yes. Now, and she's going to come forward. I just want her to hit my fist. Okay. Yes, by extending the knees. Now come up. Yep. Good. Rest. Good. See how she's extending the knees to get there? Come up. Beautiful. One more. Slow it down. Yes. Hold. 1, 2, 3. Come up. Good. 2 more. Let's see if we can get a little farther without bending forward. Ooh, yeah. Hold. Yeah. Good. 1 more. Come up. Rest. I'm going to keep my fist right here because I don't want her to bend. Good. Hold it. 1, 2. Get that chest up just a little bit more. Yes. 3, 4. And come up. Wow. Feel that in the hamstrings? It's brutal on the hamstrings. Anna asked me a really good question before we got started. She was like, how far down do I go? And I will say this. You want to go as far down as you can, but go ahead and show them how to do it wrong. If she believes she needs to go all the way down and bend forward at the waist to do that, she's not really doing it correctly. Do you see that? We want this up, right? And then we come back. So you don't want to do full range of motion on this if you can't do it correctly. So it is one of those things that you can feel free to do half reps. You will get plenty out of it. I'm sure you felt that. Yeah. Feel free to do those half reps until you get your range of motion and your relative strength more and more as weeks progress, where you can extend without bending forward at the waist. Now, for jiu-jitsu, our sport is there's a lot of isometric holding. There's a lot of endurance with it. And so if you notice, I really like to add isometric pauses here. Hamstring strength for jiu-jitsu athletes is super important for your triangles, for your closed guard. You have to suspend yourself on your opponent for things like arm bars, right? Mm-hmm. You know, when you think about an arm bar, like I have to clamp down, I have to bend my knee, and I have to swing with that suspended hamstring. I believe, were you there for the class that John talked about it? Yes. He called it the suspended hamstring, and I immediately thought of these Nordics. So keep your reps 3 to 5. You don't really need to do much more than that. Focus on slow and controlled, and even I like to add a little isometric hold at the end there to really strengthen and get into touch with those hamstrings. Next exercise is the squat. Now, there's a lot of squat variations you can do. You can start with body weight if you're a beginner. You can do a goblet squat, which is just a dumbbell or a kettlebell in front. And you can also do barbell squats. The squat that you choose is totally your preference. There are some that are beginner-based and some that are advanced. There's another squat called Zercher squat. I mean, there's tons of squats. So I will say a lot of jiu-jitsu athletes and coaches out there really geared towards the Zercher squat, but I'm not going to show that today just because it's not my first choice. That said, I think the Zercher is really, really great to put in your programmings. So don't get me wrong. Don't misquote me there. So Anna's going to demonstrate what's called a front squat. Now, in order to, you set your barbell up, let's see here, about armpit or like right under the shoulder when it comes to setting up. These are called J hooks. So when she gets in a front squat, there's 2 ways you can do your front squat. Show them the first way. The first way takes, and just hold this for a second. This first way is kind of the traditional Olympic way because it requires like a ton of wrist flexion, and it requires that you almost like shove this barbell in your throat, and it requires lat mobility to get these elbows up because as you start squatting, those elbows are want to drop down. This one is very hard for a lot of people, especially if you have wrist problems. It's just difficult. So again, if you like that one, do it. But Anna's going to do the arms crossed version. Now, the kind of con of this one is as she squats, her elbows might drop again and that bar starts rolling down. So it is harder on the upper body musculature, but pick the one that works for you. So she's going to go ahead and unrack. Yep. And we don't want to take too many excessive steps backwards. She's going to get her squat stance. Everybody's squat stance is a little bit different. We're going to do what's called a tempo squat. We're going to go 3 seconds down, 2-second hold, normal tempo up. Go ahead and do that. I'll have you count your own tempo while I squat or while I talk. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah.
3.
Yes. And the reason it's important to do tempos first is you really start learning and kind of picking apart the movement for yourself. We're just going to do 5 good reps here, making sure those knees are kind of driving out just a little bit. Notice some really good things that Anna's doing here. She's keeping her feet flat. She's letting that ankle dorsiflexion happen. She's not letting the knees collapse in. So doing that tempo squat is very beneficial for you to learn where your end point is. Not all athletes can squat all the way down. So go ahead and do like maybe a 3/4 squat. Yeah. So if you're an athlete, stop right there. But if you cannot squat as low as Anna is, that's fine. Just go as far as you can and then come up. Anna just showed you how to do the front squat. I'm going to show you how I do the back squat. Again, preference is up to you. I like to get my hand set first. There's this thing on the barbell. It's like this gritty kind of diamond stuff. This is called knurling. So my preference is to get my thumbs even with that knurling, and then I move my hair out of the way. Now, this is a girl problem. I always have to slip my hair so it doesn't get caught. Now, if you guys are choosing to do back squat, you're going to fuck yourself up if you put that barbell way too high up on the net, okay? So you look at your traps right here, and you actually want to kind of move it down. Like your trap muscles almost hold it like a shelf, okay? Now, when I usually get my feet under me, and I prefer to get my elbows right under the bar, and then I come up. I really bring it off with some force. You only need to take just a couple steps back. I'm going to do the same thing Anna did, but I'm doing it with a back squat, okay? Here's my stance. 1, 2, 3, hold. 1, 2. Now coming up, I get those elbows under the bar. We're just going to do 5 good reps. 1, 2, 3. Messed up my tempo. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Okay, I'm going to do 2 reps. And I'm going to kind of show you guys just some things that people do wrong. So a lot of people squat. If your knees are collapsing in, guys, no. Okay? If your heels are rising, probably not a good idea. I will say there are some sports that might require that. Third thing, bending forward a lot. If you're bending forward a lot, there's likely a mobility problem in your chain. Okay? So if you can't squat as low as I can, don't worry about it. Squat as low as you can with good form. Maybe it's halfway, okay? And then come up. Now, when it comes to racking, just go, boom, right into the rack. See how safe that was? I'll tell you one more tip, guys. When it comes to back squat, I see people do this a lot. They kind of like walking the rack, they go, and then they try to like one at a time. And what will happen, what could happen is the bar slips and it falls off the back. Next up is the leg extension. She's actually warming up to a working set. We're just going to do easy sets of 5. When you get done with that, go ahead and switch the pin to the next one. Now, here's why leg extension is such a great exercise. It's done in a machine. You're kind of locked in here. And because of that, it's very safe to push this kind of exercise to near failure and really get some gains in your leg musculature. Leg extension is really important for a Jitsu athlete because when it comes to defending leg locks or just the ability to be able to extend your knee, you need to be very, very strong here, and you need to have really good leg endurance. So what we're going to do today, there's tons of rep schemes and things we can do today. I just wanted to show you a really cool way that you can push yourself near failure and get those kind of strength gains that you want as a Jiu-Jitsu athlete. She's warmed up. We're going to start our first working set. Before you start, I'm telling you what we're going to do. We're going to go for 12 reps with full knee extension. But what I want Anna to do is a 2-second isometric hold at the end of each rep. All right, go ahead and start. And will you go ahead and count your reps? Well, okay, she's going to go ahead and count her reps, so I'm trusting that she's going to be able to do that. Notice she's holding here. Her butt's not rising. So if you're able to like do this full range of motion, but your like butt's coming off the seat every time, then you probably need to go down and wait. At the end of her 12 reps, that's the goal. Not a big deal if she can't get there. But we're going to do what's called a drop set, and that's going to be very safe to do while we're locked in the machine. Anna asked me a really, really good question, and she was like, do I dorsiflex or do I plantar flex my my ankles. And I'll say now, as a jiu-jitsu athlete, when I got better at leg lock defense, I dorse or plantar flex now. It's up to you and your preference. Play around with both. One's not perfect or better than the other. What rep you on?
This is 11.
11. Yeah. She wanted to do less weight, I will say. One more. 1, 2, and down. Now we're going to do a drop set. I gave her no break other than me changing these fucking little pins. Ready? 20 reps. Let's go. 1. Now we're going to go quicker. 2. No pausing. Yes. 3. Yeah. 4. 5. We did half the weight that we did in this 12. Yep. How many is that? 8. Here we go. We're going for 20, baby. Full extension. We're trying to bang them out. Here we go. Here we go. That's it. Tell me we're not at 15.
13.
13. 14. Let's go. 15. 5 more, baby. She got it. She got it. Yes. Is that 17 or 18? 19?
2 more.
One more. Oh, yes. Really, really very good, effective way. Do your legs feel like freaking balloons
They
now?
do.
Yeah. So push yourself on the leg extension, guys. It's safe. You can push it to near failure, unlike you can in a squat, right? Because the squats can be kind of dangerous. So really good for your leg locks and really good for your quads to get strong there. Nice job. We're here doing the hip thrust. Now we're lucky enough that this gym actually has a hip thrust machine. I will say if your gym doesn't have access to this, you can do a barbell version. Not a big deal. Now my preference, guys, is I like to do single leg hip thrust mostly for jiu-jitsu athletes. Number one, your hip thrust is very, very strong, and I hate warming it up just to get to a working set. So I prefer single leg so I can see which side is stronger than the other and what I need to work on. I think that's important for symmetry, muscle symmetry. And for jiu-jitsu, the hip thrust, or the bridge, essentially, is so, so important for your butterfly sweeps. Any type of pin escapes you have to do off the ground. There's just so, and I'm just naming 2 off the top of my head, there's so many great uses for a jiu-jitsu athlete to get really, really good at your hip thrust or your bridge work like we're about to do now. So we're going to do a single leg hip thrust. We're just going to do simple. I like to keep the reps low here in general. And we're going to do a tempo set. We're going to go 2-second pause at the top, and then we're going to do a 3-second descend. Now, Anna, as you do this, go ahead and count your reps and your tempo, and I'll keep giving you some coaching cues.
How many reps for?
We're going to do 5 reps on each side. Yeah. So she's going to go ahead and get started. When it comes to adjusting your foot, that's just, per person, couple things. She's going to keep her fin tucked. All right. We don't want to throw the head back into neck extension. She gets the other leg up. Yep. Just wherever gets it out of the way, hold. 1, 2, and down. 1, 2, 3. Good. Let's see if we get it full at the top. Yes. Yes. Now I have her counting her own reps and tempo because I won't be able to keep count. Good. Now this is teaching you control. You're going to find that one leg is probably way stronger than the other. That's okay. When it comes to this other leg, just get it out of the way however you can. When she's done with 5 reps, we're going to do 5 reps on the other side. And what I like about these single leg ones is I don't have to load this with so much weight. I don't have to keep warming up to get there, and I can actually see which side of my body needs more work than the other. And again, I really like doing tempo reps, so we're learning control and engaging. She shouldn't feel much out of her back here. You feel your back for anything? I think it should feel like mostly glutes and hamstrings. Now, don't get me wrong. Your lower back is working here a little bit, but I will warn you, if you do your hip thrust set and all you feel is your low back when you get done, you might want to reduce the weight. Anna's already going on her set right here. We're doing a seated adduction machine. Now, something special is I'm timing her set. We're going to do a 90-second set. We're not going to worry about counting reps because it's just too difficult to count the reps. I just want her to go for 90 seconds straight. Now, here's what's really cool about this set. You're halfway, by the way. Now, she has set this machine to where it pushes her flexibility. Like she's getting a stretch when her legs open. Notice she's holding for 3 full seconds on the open, and then when she squeezes 3 full seconds on the squeeze. All right. And that's all you really need to count. Just count your tempo. We got 25 seconds left. Your goal is to keep going. You should feel burning. This is working your lactic endurance, especially local endurance, just in your adductors. Very, very important. You got 50. I'm going to let her look at this. Very, very important for your closed guard work. Your adductors are also the anchors of your pelvic floor for men and women. You got about 5 seconds left. So I really love, especially for a jiu-jitsu athlete, the 3-second squeeze and the 3-second opening time. Nice. On the feel.
That was rubber.
It's brutal. Just another way to do your seated adduction machine. You can bang out reps if you want, but lately I've really been liking this method. We're almost done. We're gonna do walking lunges with dumbbells. She's gonna go ahead and get started on her set, and I'll explain why I think this is important. She's doing 20 reps total in terms of counting. Right plus left equals 2. Now, when it comes to your dumbbell selection, in terms of how much weight you do, will depend on how strong you are. Just a good, nice working set. Couple things here. She's doing it barefoot. If your gym allows it, again, good to do it barefoot as a jiu-jitsu athlete. The reason lunges are important is they help with your double leg takedowns. Do you see how there's deep knee flexion here? They help with your glutes. To be honest, guys, there's almost no replacement for a lunge. So these are very beneficial for any jiu-jitsu athlete. Anna, as you come back, I'm going to ask you to do some bad things. So take a step forward and bend forward at the waist. Yes, we don't want that. Okay, if you find that your knee is collapsing inwards during a lunge, guys, not going to be a good idea. All right. So if that's the case, the regression to the walking lunge would be to do no weight, or you can do a box step up if you're just not ready yet. But it's really just an irreplaceable exercise. Last exercise, but certainly not least, this is called the lateral squat. All right. Anna's keeping her chest up. She's putting that kettlebell load right at her chest. She's going to do 5 good reps on that side. Lateral strength is so important for a jiu-jitsu athlete. Jiu-jitsu has so much movement involved, and we're in a different plane of motion here. So this is helping with your side-to-side movement, getting you strong. Keeping that foot flat. I'm going to have you probably do more reps than I told you. She's keeping that foot flat. She's keeping that knee over her toes, and she's not like letting the knee collapse in. This is really, really good for your lateral movement to the side, being able to stop and change directions. So when you guys are in the gym, don't get so caught up with like going forward and back with all your exercises. Make sure you add some lateral movements and agility work here. There's some good questions people ask me about loading. She's holding the kettlebell in the center of her chest, but when she gets more advanced with this, she can choose to put it in her right hand side to put more weight onto that leg. And then I'll say one more caveat here. You can go ahead and put that down after this rep. And I want you to show them what a lateral lunge is. So very important. I know I'm like splitting hairs here, guys, but I want you to, if you're new to this, do the lateral squat first, because it's going to be a little bit easier because your foot is already placed and you know where to go. Go ahead and do the lateral lunge. Now, when you step into it, now we're lunging. So anytime we take a step, that's called a lateral lunge. And if you want to be really nitpicky, you can call it a frontal plane lunge, but everybody understands lateral. So you can go into the lunge or you can go into the lateral squat. I know you guys are going to feel that one tomorrow. Make sure you comment below and tell me what your favorite key takeaway was. And make sure you subscribe so you'll be the first to know when we drop new content. I'll see you guys on the mats.